Well, hello everyone and welcome back to another video, the F122 Driver Career with Alpha Tauri, episode number 24 today for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix in Season 2. If you missed the previous episode, the opening round of the season, with all the driver transfers and new liveries for this season, I recommend go and check that out. And of course, subscribe and to the channel, see plenty more F122 Driver Career videos. Coming into this one then, we've got 1600 resource points to spend. Quite a little bit low down on drag reduction. We have got an upgrade coming for that, but that's a major drag reduction. Hydraulics is another one, but that's a minor. And we actually got the fourth best chassis. We've got a better chassis than Ferrari. We've got a better strategy than Ferrari as well. There's some tyre wear, but don't think we really need tyre wear just at the moment. So we're going to go for this major drag reduction. Uploads two things as well. It's going to take a bit of time to come in. I'm not going to rush anything just yet. One of these has failed. It's a minor engine failure, which I actually repurchased between qualifying and the race. But yes, still very close on the R&D chart. But a few minor upgrades here and there. As I say, we haven't get those major upgrades on, because this graph has been condensed. Everyone's in with 100 performance points, and that means that one major upgrade could be a big difference. So we'll have to wait and see about that as we go on throughout the season. You could see some weird teams that we're not used to seeing at the front of the Formula 1 be up there, potentially even ourselves. It's that close.
Okay, here's an update. We've got a leak in the hydraulic system, so it's going to be a few minutes before we can get you back out on track, I'm afraid.
Cannot be serious!
I swear to God, Mark is a curse on this year's game, because this is the worst streak I've had of those little failures you get at the start of qualifying, and there's nothing you can do to fix them. It's just completely random, but it's supposed to be completely random, and yes, it's nice to see once in a while, but not every other race. I'm just going to point that out. But anyway, another thing that's broken with this game is the AI, because they are the worst AI for consistency ever. We've already know that they're inconsistent from track to track and from qualifying to the race. And what you're going to see in today's episode is the fact that they're actually even worse than they have been on previous year's game. So much so that we've gone purple in Sector 1 in an Alpha Tauri. We're not even the fastest car, as well as we come into the final section then. Almost 3 tenths up on Ricciardo in a McLaren, which will not that. But that's also the thing, is it's that close. So part of this, I think, is down to the AI, and also the other part of this is down to the fact the grid is also close as well. But Jeddah seems to be a good track for the player on this year's game, well, just to show that I upped the AI from Bahrain, but clearly not enough, because we've managed to qualify P4 as well. Gasly only P11, so I'm going to try and... I know that Gasly, he got P10. I felt that he could have been with us for that P5 at Bahrain. Bahrain being a tougher track. You see Mercedes starting to show their true pace there, 9th and 10th place. As Leclerc takes pole from Norris, those two in form. So, yes, I'm going to update up the AI again for the race. Time, though, for the race.
We're here today on the shores of the Red Sea in the lower Hejaz Mountains to visit one of the newest circuits in the Formula 1 calendar, Jeddah, home to what we all hope is going to be a thrilling Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. So let's take a look at a topographical map of the Jeddah Street circuit. As you can see, a number of challenging corners for the drivers to master here. We'll see just how much the teams have benefited from their time spent in practice this weekend. And like many street circuits, this track has the potential to punish drivers that get it wrong. Let's hope we avoid any safety cars today. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday, and it's put him on pole, edging out Lando Norris, who'll start from P2. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Verstappen, Phoenix, Sergio Perez and Sainz, Vettel, Ricciardo, Russell and Lewis Hamilton, Gasly, Latifi, Alex Albon and Magnussen, Bottas, Joe, Mick Schumacher and Yuki Tsunoda, Stroll and Robert Schwartzman. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track. And I'm joined once again by Anthony Davidson to bring you the lowdown for today's race. Let's discuss Haas. We have a number of changes to the aerodynamic regulations this year, and the signs haven't looked good for them so far in terms of getting to grips with those changes.
It doesn't look promising for them so far. And if the new regs have hit them as hard as we think, well, I suspect they may need a few late nights at the factory to get back on track.
After the points finished last race, let's aim to keep that momentum going.
You should be able to. I mean, I've upped the AI by 3 between qualifying and the race. So it's just a question about as well. So we've gone 5 overall from the previous episode, basically at Bahrain. So just to also add to this, we haven't done the alternate strategy in a while, so let's do it. Screw it, we might as well see where we can come out on the alternate strategy. There's 5 red lights then, and away we go to the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. It's a bit of a poor start as usual, but we defend the inside from, I think that's Perez, who tries to swoop around, and the 2 Ferraris behind now. As well as we're watching 2 Ferraris and Perez having an almighty scrap now. It's Sainz though from Perez, and there's a little bit of contact there. Did Sainz get a bit of contact there? I don't know, because now Sainz has fallen behind through turn 1, and it's Vettel who's the lead Ferrari. As well, who's fighting Perez. So those 2 squabbling, you know, the AIs lose so much time when they're squabbling. You can be in this year's Williams and you'd still be fast. You'd be in last year's Haas and still be faster than Perez. As Vettel goes deep this time, that's going to allow Perez to come back on him through to turn 2 and make the position. Meanwhile, our teammate Gasly, starting on mediums, he's regretting that move because, unlike my mediums, you know, I'm clear space, he needed to make up positions, and that's costing him because he's battling the Alfa Romeos who although have a good car, don't have the good drivers. As Vettel and Perez are going again, you can see Sainz has indeed come into the pits for damage to replace his front wing, I think, or he's fallen down actually, so he hasn't replaced it. Is that like a Vettel and Verstappen at Bahrain, maybe, when they got damaged? As we're watching Verstappen versus Norris, and Verstappen blocks off Norris there, and again Verstappen having DRS all over the back of Lando Norris in the McLaren car, and there's a bit of contact there, and I wonder, has Verstappen got front wing damage? Again, he has, on that left front end plate. Is horrible. So we jump a few laps then. The softs don't go very long around here, so you know, all the soft tyre runners have come into the pits, and Verstappen though has managed to jump Norris without replacing his front wing. And further up the road we've got Magnussen versus Gasly, both of which start on mediums. We've got the reigning world champion Charles Leclerc, and with this overtake Gasly made it Alpha Tauri 1-2, because I'm at this point leaving the race with yet to stop. But you know, this is good for me because Norris and Verstappen are continuing to fight here, and they are slowing each other down. So jump to lap 8. We've just quietly been putting in our best times as well. We've even taken the pit entry properly for once as well, without confidence of at least getting one of them, but it will be close. A little bit of a slow exit there. 2.4 though is definitely not bad. Leclerc will go through. I think he's going to dominate at this moment in time. There is Verstappen and Norris, but remember we feed out to turn 2, as well. A little bit awkward here and there. Norris cuts in front, but we're now on the soft tyre, and we're going to be a lot faster now, surely. Verstappen centre at the inside. Not aware. I wasn't actually aware of where Verstappen was. I thought he'd just fallen in behind. I was going to wait for the travel goers in the DRS zone, but he just absolutely sends one on me. Just caught me by surprise. There's a bit of contact there. Here's what it looks like on the replay, and then they got this shoulder cam. Yeah, maybe should have gone a little bit deeper if I'd have spotted him. I would, but well, that's Verstappen's front wing damage anyway. But at least now he should have really replaced the front wing earlier. Because we now jump to lap 10. We're all over Norris, and this is going to be an easy move. We're going to breeze past Lando and up to P2. So the AI definitely need to go up a lot more, which we will look to do so at the next race, but it's so hard to judge it because they're not consistent between the next. We set a fastest lap of 1 minute 30.3, which no one's going to match. So we're watching behind us. Oh, there's contact between Vettel and Perez behind us. Ricciardo's there, and Sainz, who's fallen behind Ricciardo. So those four are battling really bad for P4 as we jump out. POV! We bottled it. I bottled it again. As well, we've got no front wing. You can see it's a horrific turning there. So I'm having to lift off as well. Here's a replay then of what happened, and I think it's not clear what happened there. What unsettled the car? Because whether it was just white. I think I know. See from this rear view shot, I think what happened was my rear tyre coming off bounced a little bit off the curb, ever so slightly, just enough to upset the car and to steer me into that wall, and then we just corner cut for Nova and almost narrowly missing Lando Norris's car there. So the question is though, can we hold on? P2 is off the cards, but we can still get on the podium without a front wing, ladies and gentlemen, as we come through. Fortunately, we've made it through sector 1, which is the twisty thing. We're into sector 3 through the final corner, the understeer, just about able to hold on. There is Perez and Vettel, Ricciardo and Sainz all squabbling. We're just about hold on for P3. So it is still a podium, but it could have been P2. Could we have got Leclerc? I don't think so. It was slightly too out of reach, and the soft tyres were going off towards the end as well. So yeah, very frustrating. Another mistake, just like that. But we did get fastest lap because, by quite some way. That's just the AI gap that we need to plug, basically. Hopefully at Australia, but that's not a great track for me. No Shisco Tifi, by the way. Great job by him in the Alpine. With Verstappen down the order after making multiple contacts. Verstappen on his fresh soft tyres didn't manage at the end. A little bit that is also down to the soft tyres. So, yes, we're actually P3 in the championship. Gasly pitted to hard tyres and Magnussen, so they were screwed. From the time they chose that strategy. We're up to P4 in the constructors, but I don't think we're going to stay ahead of Mercedes for long, especially if they start bringing upgrades and sort out their car through the corners. It seems on corner tracks that Mercedes struggle for pace compared to the likes of Alpine. Verstappen was on for a podium, or at least P3, P4. So that's another mistake by Verstappen, because that's a couple of podiums he could have had now, and all he's managed to pick up is 4 points to Leclerc's 50. Norris is effectively Leclerc's closest challenger in McLaren, which was not expected considering where their position is on the R&D tree. Expecting a little bit more from Alpine there, but there we go. Latifi's actually ahead of his teammate as well in the standings. So great job by Nicholas there. But yes, for us, we'll look to bounce back at Australia, although we'll look to also make the IA have a bit more of a challenge as well. So that episode will be coming out hopefully on Monday. So if you haven't enjoyed, then leave a like, subscribe channel, and you see plenty more F1 22 driver camera videos as when they come out. Until the next video, then I'll see you next time. Take care, thanks so much for watching, enjoy your day, and goodbye.